All right. Hello, everyone, and greetings from Missouri University of Science and Technology. We're going to go ahead and get started. I want to point out we do have a messaging or a chatting feature. So if there's any questions throughout the webinar, if you want to type them in here, send me a message on here, that would be great. And then at the end of the webinar, we'll definitely also have questions or have time for questions then as well. So if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question then, but feel free to type in any questions here as we go throughout the webinar. So I know it's early in the morning here for me and Rolla, and it's probably very late in the evening for you in your home country. So I appreciate you taking the time to join me today for this webinar. Oops. All right, so this is the pre-departure information for students who are admitted to spring semester 2019. My name is Jody Hazekamp, and I work in the Office of International Affairs at Missouri S&T. I'm the program manager of international recruitment, so you've probably been receiving some emails from me. My job here is to help you. So I'm here to answer any questions that you have and make sure that you have all the information you need to get to Missouri S&T and be a successful student. So I just want to start off by saying congratulations on being accepted to Missouri S&T. We are so excited for you to come and join us in January. As you know, Missouri S&T is a premier technological research institution. We have some top-notch professors and students from all across the United States, but all across the world. And you're going to get a very good education here at Missouri S&T. So we're really excited for you. This is just a brief agenda on some of the topics that we're going to cover today in the webinar. So first of all, I'll introduce you to the International and Cultural Affairs team, my coworkers here in the office who you may have been communicating with as well. Go over information about immigration documents that will be required for you to come here as a student. Review important dates that you need to know for the start of the semester. Give you a little information about Rolla, Missouri, which will be your new home soon. Talk about transportation to Rolla, how you're going to get here from the airport. Important steps that you'll need to do after you arrive in Rolla. We'll discuss some housing options. We'll go over English testing, how to enroll in classes, what your employment options are as an international student, and last but not least, some international student organizations that you can connect with so you can maybe talk to some current students here on campus to help answer questions. So first of all, like I mentioned, I work in the Office of International Affairs. So on Missouri S&T's campus, our office is here to help the international student community. So you can see our contact information. You can send us an email at any time. You can give us a call if you need to. Our office is open from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. We also have a lot of really helpful information on our website, international.mst.edu. So you can go and visit that. Our office is located in 103 Norwood Hall. So there's a picture of our office on campus. So our office will be one of the first places that you visit when you arrive here on campus as a new student, and you'll be coming to visit us regularly as a student here to make sure that you maintain your immigration status. And also if you have any questions that come up as a student here, we can definitely be a resource to you, and if we don't know the answer to the question, we can definitely point you in the right direction. So I want to introduce you to your international advisors. So we have Ms. Janelle Kamler, Ms. Shauna Holy, and Ms. Justina Lewis. You might recognize their names as they might have signed your I-20 These are your international immigration advisors. So not only do they issue your initial immigration paperwork in order for you to come to the U.S., but they'll be a really great resource for you when you're a student here on campus and help you maintain your immigration status and answer any type of immigration questions that come up. If you do CPT or OPT, they will help you with those type of things as well. So this team is really important. You'll get to know your immigration advisor very well, and they will help you keep on track here at S&T so you can really focus on your studies. We also have Ms. Jean Byer. So if you are a J1 student, you have probably been in communication with Ms. Jean. She handles all the immigration for our J1 students. Mr. Bill Elliott is the director of our International Affairs Office. And then Brendan Cohen is our office support assistant. So you have probably been emailing back and forth with Brendan a lot as well. Brendan sits at the front desk in our office. So when you come here, he'll probably be the first friendly face that you'll see and will be able to help answer a lot of your questions and will be a really big help to you as a student here at S&T. So next we're going to move on to immigration documents and student visas. So some of you may have already received your I-20 or DS 2019. Others of you may still be waiting to receive that. So if you have not submitted your financial statement, please do that as soon as possible. Please email either a copy of your bank statement to Brendan or reach out to him and find out what information is needed. So in order for us to issue any sort of immigration documents to you to be a student at our school, you must first submit the financial statement that shows that you can financially support yourself as a student here on campus. So after you submit your financial statements, your international advisor will issue your immigration documents. So if you are going to be an F1 student, you'll get a I-20. If you're going to be a J1 student, you'll get a DS 2019. After your immigration documents have been issued, then you're going to arrange for shipment through University Express Mail Service. That is a company that we've paired with that is going to help make sure that your documents are delivered to you and mailed to you. So again, Brendan would have sent you some information on how to sign up for this shipping. But if you have any questions about that, please reach out to him and he can help answer those. Along with your immigration documents, you'll also be sent the paper copy of your admission letter, and other important admission material will be in that packet that's mailed to you. Then once you receive your DS 2019 or your I-20, you'll pay your SEVIS fee, and then you'll schedule your visa interview appointment and pay the visa application fee. Then you'll go to attend your visa interview, and then if your visa is approved, you'll follow the instructions for passport and visa pickup. So depending on your country, this process can take a different amount of time. So please, if you haven't gone through this process, make sure that we have all the documents that we need for you so we can get things rolling as soon as possible. Here are some important dates to remember. So you can arrive in the U.S. up to 30 days prior to the program start date on your I-20 or DS 2019. So when you're booking your flights, please keep that in mind. New International Student Orientation is going to be on Tuesday, January 15th. So we encourage all new international students to attend this orientation. Here you're going to be provided some really important information to help you transition into a student at Missouri S&T. You'll meet with different departments on campus, find out things like how to use the library, how to pay your tuition. There will be people there from campus police, how to get enrolled in classes. So all types of those questions are going to be covered at orientation, along with really important information on how to maintain your immigration status as a student. But if you are unable to attend orientation, maybe you haven't gotten your visa or you're not able to book your flight in enough time, it's not a huge problem. You will still be able to come and start the semester. There will be, if you miss orientation on January 15th, we will have some makeup mini orientations that will be scheduled after the start of the semester. So please do try your very best to attend new international student orientation. But if you're unable to, please let Brennan or myself know, and we'll still plan for your arrival just a little bit later. All right, and the start of the spring semester is Tuesday, January 22nd. So this is the first day of class. So this is the day that you need to absolutely plan to be arriving in Rolla by January 22nd. On Monday, January 21st is a holiday in the U.S., so the campus will be closed on Monday. So, and then the first day of class will start there on Tuesday. Some more important dates for you to keep in mind for graduate students. So if you are coming to earn your master's or PhD degree, you'll also need to attend new graduate student orientation, which will be on Friday, January 18th. This is hosted by the Office of Graduate Studies. So there's two orientations. There's graduate study orientation and new international student orientation. You'll need to attend both of those. Separate information will be covered at each, so please plan to attend both. If you are an undergraduate student coming for your bachelor's degree, you'll need to attend spring orientation, which is also on Friday, January 18th. This event is both for freshmen, so if you're coming directly after high school, or if you're a transfer student who has attended another university and now are coming to Missouri S&T, both of those types of undergraduate students will attend spring orientation on Friday, January 18th. All right, so moving on to a little bit of information about Rolla, Missouri. So hopefully maybe you've done a little research about where you'll be moving, but you can see here, Missouri is located right here in the middle of the U.S. Rolla is a town of about 20,000 residents, so compared to possibly maybe a large international city that you're from, it may seem quite small, but there's still plenty of things to do here in Rolla. There is lots of shopping. You can easily do all your grocery shopping. We have an international market. We have, you know, places where I'm sure you've probably heard about Walmart. So we have a big Walmart here where you can buy almost anything that you need, anything from clothing to food to things for your new dorm room or apartment. There's lots of different types of restaurants, so don't worry. Even though Rolla is a smaller town, there's still lots of really fun and exciting things to do, and I think you'll really enjoy living here. It's about 160 kilometers from St. Louis, which is the largest city in Missouri. So on weekends, or if you want to go into St. Louis and maybe go to some museums or do some other type of shopping there, it's not too far. And most importantly, Rolla is a very safe and friendly community. The people here really enjoy having our international students. The university is a big part of our community here, and all of our community members really value our international students. You'll feel that people will say hi to you, people will be very welcoming, they'll be willing to answer your questions. So I think you're going to really enjoy living in Rolla. We look forward to welcoming you. Our city slogan is a city engineered for everyone, because that means that there's all types of different things depending on what your hobbies are. So there's a lot of outdoor activities. So if you enjoy things like fishing, hiking, boating, there's a lot of really fun things to do in those regards. You can see there's a picture of our campus in winter. So you're going to be arriving in January. So likely when you arrive, the weather will be probably very cold. So be sure to pack a jacket or at least a warm sweater or something for you to wear after you exit the airport, especially if you're coming from a warmer climate. If you don't have a lot of warm clothes, that's no problem. You can go shopping when you arrive, but you'll definitely want to have at least a few warmer outfits to wear when you first arrive, at least traveling from the airport to campus, because chances are it will be very cold. Nowadays, we've been having a little bit warmer weather, but it also has already snowed a couple times this year. So the weather in Missouri can be, you know, very warm one day, then very cold the other day. So it's a bit unpredictable, but generally January is one of the coldest months. So make sure that you come prepared for that. So traveling to Rolla, you're going to fly into the St. Louis airport. So the airport code is STL. That's the closest airport to Rolla. But Rolla is about a 2-hour drive from the airport. So you're going to need to make sure that you make transportation arrangements before you arrive at the airport. Because it's a 2-hour drive, there's not a bus that you can just hop on, or a subway, or you won't be able to just take a taxi, go out and jump in a taxi. You'll need to make a reservation beforehand. So one option is USA Express Services. They're a local shuttle company, and they work with our office. So if you send an email to ia@mst.edu, you can find out some information on how to arrange that shuttle. You should have maybe received an email from Brendan with some information about that already. So that service does have a fee associated with it, but it is a good option if you need that. If you are a sponsored student, if you've been in contact with Miss Hannah and you're a sponsored student, then you can send an email to ia@sss@mst.edu to get some information about your transportation options. And then, of course, you can, if you have any friends here that are already at Missouri S&T that can maybe come and pick you up, or if you're able to connect with some current students that are here, they might be traveling to St. Louis and can give you a ride. So that could be another option. But again, make sure that you have a plan on how you're going to get to Rolla from the airport before you leave. And also take into consideration, you may need to make a hotel reservation. Either if you're arriving very late at night in St. Louis, you may need to stay in St. Louis for the night and then travel to Rolla the next morning. Or if you're coming to Rolla and you don't have, you're not living in the dormitory and you don't have an apartment set up, you may need to live in a hotel for at least 1 or 2 days while you get your apartment and get everything settled. So just keep that in mind, that you may need to make a hotel reservation as well. So after you arrive in Rolla, the first thing you'll want to do is come and check in at the Office of International Affairs, and you're going to need to bring your I-20, your DS 2019, and your passport and your I-94. So again, our office is located in 103 Norwood Hall, and we're open from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. If you are arriving just before new International Student Orientation, if you don't have a chance to check in before orientation, you can bring your I-20 or DS 2019 passport and I-94 to orientation, and you can get checked in there. That's no problem. You'll also need to get your university ID card made. So after you get checked in, you can go, Brendan can give you some information on how to get your ID card. You'll need to make sure that you have activated your university email address. So email is the main form of communication on our campus. So this is how our office will communicate with you. This is how your professors and other offices on campus will send an email to your S&T email account. So make sure you have that activated and that you're checking it regularly. You can open a bank account here at one of the local banks. maybe one of the current students can give you some advice on the banks. There's lots of different banking options here in Rolla, and you can also look for housing options if you're going to be living in an apartment. So next, we're going to talk about housing. So if you are an undergraduate student who's under the age of 21, so you're coming in either as a freshman or a transfer student who's under the age of 21, you will need to live in the dormitory for 2 years. So you should have received information from Residential Life about your on-campus housing options. If you have not, or you have questions about what your housing options are as an undergraduate student, you should either visit reslife.mst.edu and you can send them an email or go to their website and get that type of information. If you are a older undergraduate student over the age of 21 or a graduate student, you can live in the dormitories if you would like. It's common for sometimes older undergraduate students to live on campus. Graduate students, they typically almost all live in apartments off campus, but you can look at their website and decide what option is best for you. If you do want to rent an apartment, there are a lot of apartments near campus. And if you don't have a car, that's no problem. There's lots of apartments that are within walking distance to campus. There's also, if you have a car and want to live a little farther away from campus, that's an option as well. I've listed here some local real estate companies that offer rental properties. Investment Realty, Brown Realty, and Fruit Investments. There's also some other people who have rental properties that rent them individually. So if you want to go to their websites, maybe before you arrive, and take a look at some of the apartments they have available. There may be some people from these companies also at New International Student Orientation that can help answer some of your questions. But I would say definitely do your research before you come and look at some different apartment options, talk to some current students who are here, get their advice. But you'll also at least either have one of your friends who's here on campus, or wait until you arrive on campus and can go and look at the apartment yourself before you sign a lease, because you'll want to make sure that you are moving into an apartment that looks like the pictures look, because sometimes pictures can be deceiving, and we just want to make sure that you understand the lease that you're signing and you understand all of the commitment that you're making. So again, current students here on campus are a really great resource. They've gone through the process of finding an apartment and renting an apartment, so they can give you some really good advice. I say here that rent varies from about $450 to $700 per month and can be split among roommates. So you can rent a 2, 3, 4 bedroom apartment with some of your friends, which will help reduce the cost of your rent. So one great thing about Rolla is the cost of living is quite low here. You can rent an apartment for a very reasonable amount. So that's a really good thing, especially for students who are living on a tight budget. Next, we'll talk about English testing. So if you have been admitted to Missouri S&T based on your academic record, but have not provided proof of meeting the English requirement, you will be required to complete English proficiency testing upon arrival at Missouri S&T, which will be administered by the Intensive English Program at IEP. So if you did not submit a TOEFL or IELTS score that meets our university's requirement, then you will need to do English testing when you arrive on campus. And then based on the results of those English tests, the Intensive English Program will make a recommendation on if you will take academic classes or will need to take some English language classes. You can look at your I-20 or DS 2019 and see if your program of study is something like chemical engineering or electrical engineering, the major that you are studying, then that would mean that you've met the English requirement. If your program of study is either for the Pathway program or Applied Language Institute, then that means that you'll need to do this English testing. So there are 3 different types of admission. So if you've been offered full-time academic admission, that means that you have met the English proficiency requirements, either by taking the TOEFL or IELTS test, or you perhaps did an English test with one of our office members when they were visiting your home country. So, but if you've met that English requirement and you have been admitted for full-time academics, you will start taking full-time academic classes in spring semester. Sorry about that, that says fall, but you'll start right away in spring semester. You'll enroll full-time in academic classes. If you have been admitted to the Pathway program, that means that you have a TOEFL score of 67 or higher and an IELTS score of 5.0 or higher, but you still have not met the minimum requirement for either for our university or your particular academic department. The Pathway program means that you will be part-time enrolled in intensive English program and part-time enrolled in academic classes. So you're going to take a combination of English language classes in addition to some academic classes on campus that will count towards your degree. So that's what the Pathway program is. And then the final option is full-time intensive English program. So if your TOEFL score is less than 67 or your IELTS score is less than 5.0 or you don't have an English test score, you'll be admitted for the full-time intensive English program. Again, here you'll need to take that English test that we talked about before, and then you'll be recommended either for full-time intensive English program. So that means that you'll take all of your classes will be English language classes. You may be recommended for the Pathway program, which is you'll take some English language, some academic, or you'll be recommended for full-time academic. You'll take all of your classes on campus and they'll count towards your degree. So again, if you have any questions about this, you can let either Brendan or myself know. If you'd like to talk to someone in our intensive English program and find out more information about our English program, you can certainly do that and we'll be happy to help you. All right, so next we're going to talk about enrolling in class. So if you are a graduate student who is going to get your master's or PhD, you will need to schedule an appointment with your academic advisor after you arrive on campus. So your admission letter may have told you who your academic advisor is, or you may have already been in contact with them. If you don't know who your academic advisor is, you can send an email to your academic department. So for example, if you are studying chemistry, you'll need to send an email to the chemistry department and find out which professor will serve as your academic advisor. And then you'll need to schedule an appointment with them after you arrive on campus to go over and discuss what classes you'll enroll in. And then after that appointment, you'll be able to enroll in classes. You'll need to meet with your academic advisor before enrolling in classes every semester. So it's important that you make your plan with your advisor so you stay on track with the classes that you're taking and can meet your graduation requirements. For undergraduate students, you will enroll in class during the orientation on January 18th. So that's when you're going to sign up for all of your classes if you're an academic student. For graduate students, if you are an academic student, you'll need to make sure that you are enrolled in 9 credit hours. That's full-time enrollment for graduate students. So Being full-time enrolled is an immigration requirement. So it's important that you remember and maintain a full-time enrollment of 9 credit hours. If you're an undergraduate student and you're taking academic classes, you'll need to be enrolled in 12 credit hours. That's what full-time enrollment is for undergraduate students. If you are a student in the intensive English program and you're going to be taking classes there, you will enroll in your classes on January 22nd, the first day of class. You'll go down to the Southwestern Bell Cultural Center and you'll get enrolled in your classes on that day. So here are some employment options for international students. So as an international student, you are able to work on campus. You can get an on-campus job and work up to 20 hours per week while school is in session. So this could be in the form of maybe getting a job at the library on campus, working at a coffee shop on campus, working with our food services on campus. So there's a variety of different offices that hire students to help in their office. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can get more information about that once you arrive on campus. But as an international student, you can work on campus. Your options for working off campus are optional practical training, which is a temporary authorization offered for students on an F1 visa to work in their related field during their educational career. So again, this has to be related to your field of study. Also another option is CPT, or curricular practical training, is a temporary work authorization provided for students on an F1 visa, which is directly related to their major upon degree completion. So you can get more information about OPT or CPT from your immigration advisor. They can help answer those type of questions. So just keep that in mind. They're a good resource for finding out information about that. So I know that one of probably the main reasons that you wanted to come study in the United States and selected Missouri S&T is it's a good investment in your future, right? You're wanting to have a successful career, and we have a lot of resources on campus to help you get there. I did want to share a little bit of information about the career success of our students after graduation. So we have a career service office on our campus that is there to help students get full-time jobs, get internships. They can help you with writing your resume, help you prepare for your interviews. So they're a really great resource to make sure that you can be successful after graduation. They have relationships with over 2,000 different employers. So you're going to have a chance to network with all types of different companies and find out about different types of employment options all across the United States, but also all across the world. Last year, there was over 3,700 on-campus interviews. So students interviewing for full-time positions and internships, and that's just on our campus those interviews were. That doesn't even count the times where students went to the actual company to have an interview. The average starting salary at commencement is over $63,000 for undergraduate students and over $72,000 for graduate students. So this is a very high and competitive salary. So our students are able to get very, very good jobs after graduation because of the education they receive at Missouri S&T. And last year we also had 580 different internships and co-ops were had by students. So we're ranked as one of the top universities for internships. So there's going to be a good opportunity for you to not only learn in the classroom, but also network and connect with employers and get some real-world working experience through your education at Missouri S&T. And finally, here are some international student organizations. So I have mentioned a couple times how valuable talking with current students here at Missouri S&T can be. They can help answer a lot of your questions. Myself and Brendan, we're here to help answer your questions, but sometimes talking to a student who has gone through the same situation as you can be very, very helpful. And so this is just some of the international student organizations that we have here on campus. You can see some are country specific. So if you are a student from India, hopefully you've already been in contact with the India Association. If you're a student from China, hopefully you've been in contact with the Chinese Student and Scholar Association, and so on. If you have not been in contact with an organization from your home country, please let me know and I can help connect you. If you are from a country and you don't see a specific organization of students from your home country on here, please don't worry. There may be students from your home country that I can connect you with, or if not, then I can definitely connect you with other international students that will be more than willing to help answer any questions that you have. So a lot of these clubs maybe have Facebook groups or web pages. So again, if you need help connecting with them, please send me a message and I'll be happy to help you do that. And the final thing I want to touch on is Celebration of Nations. So this is a big international festival that we have each year. It's always the last Saturday in September. In 2019, it will be our 10th annual Celebration of Nations. So this event has been going on for quite some time. We have about 4,000 people attend this festival, so it's very large. It's a really fun day, especially for our international students, to share your culture with our community, both in Rolla and the Missouri S&T community. The day starts off with a parade of nations where we have different community and campus members representing nations from all across the world walking in a parade. And then in the afternoon, there's a festival, and we have vendors set up where you can have delicious food from all across the world. We also have a talent show where people can sing and dance and have different talents from different parts of the world. So it's such a fun day. We really hope that you participate in it as you're packing. If you want to maybe bring some clothing that represent your culture, some native outfits that you might have that you'd want to wear at Celebration of Nations. We do have a lot of, in addition to Celebration of Nations, there are a lot of other cultural events that we have here on campus. So if you want to bring something special that can really share your culture with your new friends here at Missouri S&T, that would be really great. All right, and so here again is my contact information. My name's Jody. I'm the international recruiter here. You can see my email. Hopefully you have my email saved and have been receiving emails from me. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Miss Hannah Helmick is the sponsored student manager, and if you are receiving a scholarship from your home government to cover the entire cost of your tuition here at Missouri S&T, or from a company that you're working for, they're sponsoring your education, Miss Anna will be your best contact. So reach out to her if you have any questions. And then Miss Dan Shu is our Chinese recruitment specialist. So if you have any specific questions for her, feel free to send her an email. So at this time, I just want to open it up for any questions. You can either put them in the chat here, or if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, I'll be happy to try to answer anything.
Okay. Hi. My name is Michael.
Hi.
First, I would like to thank you for the webinar.
Oh, absolutely, no problem.
I have a few questions.
Okay, yeah.
So first, how many exchange or international students is coming for the spring semester, and how many international students are in MST, like in total?
So nowadays, our total international students we have, I think it's like around 850-ish. Um, and then, so from maybe over 60 different countries. So we have a pretty diverse international student population. As far as new students coming for spring, I'm not sure on the exact number because, as you know, it's like sometimes people are planning to come, but then they don't get their visa or they need to defer to fall semester. But we'll probably have somewhere between 50 and 100 new students come for spring semester. It's our spring intake is usually smaller than fall. We usually have a larger number of students coming in the fall, but spring we definitely you won't be alone as a new student here, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks. I was on the website of ISC, and I saw that they have buddy system, but I'm not sure that it was on their website or on the website of Missouri. Do you know
Yeah.
more about it? Is it with collaboration with your office, or is it just their program?
So yeah, the Buddy program is actually a really great program that I would encourage everyone to take advantage of. So ISC is International Student Club. They're one of the international organizations here on campus made up from, they're not country specific. So they have members from all different countries, including members from the US. And the buddy system is to partner new students with a current S&T student so they can help kind of be a new friend, help answer questions. So the program is like ISC manages the program, but it's kind of in collaboration with our office because we help them to promote it. And if students reach out to me and want to be connected, I will connect with them. I'm also the advisor for the ISC, so I work really closely with them. So there's information on their website about it, so you can reach out to them through that, or if not, you can send me an email and I can put you in contact with them. Nowadays, the students are on, we just had our finals last week, and so all the students are on winter break as well. So they should hopefully be checking their website and whatever they have set up to connect with students. But if you don't hear anything from them, like send me an email and I can call them and make sure that they check it and reach out to you.
Okay, great. It's cool to hear that because I'm the member of the actually international student club with the same name in at my home university. So it's
oh, great.
Cool.
That's yeah. So you should definitely join their club. They do a lot of really fun stuff. They have potluck dinners. They go to the amusement park. In the spring semester, they'll be having International Student Day, which is a big event that they have here on campus that kind of highlights different cultures from all around the world. They have this really delicious dinner and this show that they put on. So it's a great club. So I encourage everyone to get involved in it.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to see it from the different side. But I have another question. Is it do you think that it makes sense to try to look for the part-time job even before I arrive to Missouri?
Most offices will probably not make a hiring decision until students have arrived on campus. They may need to have an interview, or so. I mean, you could maybe look at some different websites, but honestly, going to different offices and talking to them about what options might be available for part-time positions is better. So really the best option is probably wait until you arrive on campus and then see what jobs are available and then go from there.
Okay, thank you very much. That would be everything from me. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks so much for your questions. Hopefully they were helpful not only to you, but everyone on the call, and we look forward to seeing you. Does anyone else have any questions? All right, so we have a question about a free program to improve English, especially for oral English. So if you are required to take English proficiency or English classes through our intensive English program, those are tuition-based courses. So you will have to pay for those courses. If you have maybe already met the TOEFL and IELTS requirement for our university and you aren't required to take classes at the intensive English program, but you just want to improve your English, there are some organizations on campus that have some sort of English classes that are at no cost. I think maybe some local churches, they may offer some English classes that you could take advantage of. It's not through our university, it's just in the community, but as a student, you could, of course, take advantage of that. If you're wanting to improve your English language, my best recommendation would be to just practice. So come here and don't be shy, go out, try to make friends from other countries, including the US, that people who don't speak your native language. So you are forced to speak English as much as possible. And I think you'll be really surprised how quickly your language skills can improve once you really are in an English speaking environment and push yourself to really embrace it. So that was a great question. Do we have any other questions out there?
Yes, excuse me. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I want to ask that if I can't, I'm an undergraduate student, and if I can't arrive at Rolla before January 18th, will it influence my enrolling in class?
So as an undergraduate student, if you may be able to arrive maybe 1 or 2 days after the start of class, but if you miss the first week or the first 2 weeks, it'll be really difficult and you'll fall behind in your classes. So are you in a situation where you're still waiting to get your visa?
No, because in my hometown, in my home country, my final exams will end on January 17th. So I think I will not arrive at Rolla on January 18th.
Okay.
I think I'll be 1 or 2 days later.
Okay, well, in that case, I think you'll be fine. So the first day of class is January 22nd. So even if you are here in Rolla by January 22nd, on that first day, you'll have to get enrolled in your classes and get checked in, but that shouldn't be a problem. So if you can try to arrive by January 22nd, then that should be okay.
Oh, all right. Thank you. And
no
another question. I see the intensive English program. Is it a must for foreign student?
Is it for foreign students? Is that what you asked?
Do we have to attend it, or just if we want to attend it, then I can attend it?
Right. So it depends on if you have met the English language requirement. Yeah. So if you're an undergraduate student, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the TOEFL requirement would be a 79 or IELTS of 6.0. So for undergraduate students, if they have a score below that, they will need to take some English language classes. If you have a score above that, you will not be required to take English language classes.
My situation is your teacher, the Missouri University of Science and Technology's teacher, comes to my school to give me a test, and I passed that test.
Okay.
You mean I passed the English test?
Right. So what I would recommend is looking at your I-20 or DS 2019 and looking at that. And if it says like your academic program, then you know that you have met the English requirement. If it says pathway or applied language institute, then you'll need to take the English class. But I think what would be best, if you want to send me an email, then I can look at your specific case and I'll look at your file and can tell you exactly what you'll be required to do.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And,
I think that'll be best. Yeah.
And another question. If I see the picture, I see your PowerPoint. There is USA Express shuttle services.
Yes.
If I want to go to Rolla, by this one, I have to arrange shuttle by email to this email.
Yeah.
By email
so,
to I don't understand what this means.
So if you want to use the USA Express shuttle, if you send an email to ia@mst.edu, Brendan can give you the information on how to make a reservation for the shuttle.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
And are you a student from China?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can also contact the Chinese Student and Scholar Association. Sometimes they can help with students getting a ride to campus.
Oh, okay.
So when you send me an email, I'll also send you the contact information for the president of CSSA, so you can contact him and he can give you some information about it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
There's no problem.
All right. Thank you for your questions. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Hello, yeah, I do.
Hi.
I have a question regarding the I-20.
A question about your I-20? Okay.
How long will it take because I've already sent my bank statement. They told me everything is okay, and then they will send it to the admission office, and it's already like for 3 days. I haven't received any notification or something.
So you've submitted all of your documents, but you haven't received your I-20 yet? Okay.
Yes.
Why don't, can you send me an email? Can you still see my email address here on the screen? If you send me an email with your name, I can talk to our immigration team and check on the status and make sure things are moving along.
All right. Okay, I will do that.
Okay, yeah.
I have a question regarding, because I'm right now in Malaysia. I'm applying from Malaysia.
Okay.
And I'm from Chad actually, but currently I'm living in Malaysia. So do you think there will not be any issue applying for Malaysia, or should I go back and apply from my home country?
I'm not sure about that, but when you send the email, if you can put that question in the email as well, and then I can ask your immigration advisor, just because they're much more familiar with the visa issuance and those type of things than I am. And so I think that they'll be able to better advise you, but we can definitely, I can definitely ask them for you.
But generally, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm from Czech Republic, but I was applying for visa in Taiwan, and it was like without any problem. So maybe you have different kind of visa in different countries, but in general, it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, okay, great, thank you.
Thanks for your answering.
All right, any other questions out there?
Thank you. I think.
All right, well, thank you again all so much for joining today. Thank you for your questions. Please send me, Ms. Hannah or Ms. Shu, an email if you have any questions. We will definitely be happy to help you. Also, I want to mention that the campus, including International Affairs Office, but also all of Missouri S&T campus, will be closed from December 25th through January 1st for our winter holiday. So if you have any questions or need any information, please be sure to send an email before that date. And then realize that during that date, we will have very limited access to email. So we may not be able to respond right away. So please just reach out to us before that so we can get everything sorted out and get all your questions answered. And then we look forward to welcoming you to Rolla in January. We'll see you all very soon. All right, thanks so much. I hope everyone has a nice evening, and we'll talk again soon.